Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ange if you haven't met me before, and today I'm going to be chatting about what I think are my top easiest rare plants to take care of in my collection. First, I'm going to start off with saying that yes, I know the term rare in the houseplant community is definitely overused, and I do think that it varies depending on where you live. But in Australia, these are plants that are kind of just harder to get your hands on. You're most of the time not going to be able to just pick it up at every kind of nursery. You might have to do a little bit more hunting for it. And that is what I mean by the term rare. I don't mean like botanically rare. I just mean harder to find and not just a plant you're going to find at your local big box store if you just head down the street. So if you're interested in seeing the plants that I think are the easiest to take care of, then definitely keep on watching. Before we get into this video, I just want to thank the sponsors of today's video, and that is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform that is designed for individuals to explore their creativity using their thousands of classes. They have numerous amounts of topics that you can choose from. They have DIYs, crafts, painting, even plant classes, and the list just really goes on. I personally just finished a class that is called Watercolor in the Woods, a beginner's guide to painting the natural world. The teacher, Rosalie, was just absolutely amazing. She had this really nice presence and she taught some really good tips for beginning your watercolor journey. And just last night, I finished this painting using her techniques that I learned on her video. And yes, I know it's not perfect, but I think it's pretty dang cute. I'm definitely a beginner at watercolor. I am not saying I'm amazing, but you know, it's just fun to really just dabble and just kind of work on my creativity. Skillshare has provided the first 1,000 of my subscribers a free premium membership trial. They are constantly adding to their selections of classes, and the best thing is that it's totally ad-free. So after your trial, it is only going to cost you about $10 a month. So definitely check the link in the description box below if you want to claim your free trial, and thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Alright, so now that we have gotten that out of the way, I'm going to start with the first plant on my list that I think is really easy. And it is the absolutely stunning, the beautiful Philodendron White Princess. I personally love this plant. It is absolutely gorgeous. I am a big sucker for white variegation. I know I'm basic like that, but it is just breathtaking. So I'll show you some of the leaves over on this side. We have some of the newest growth coming in with some really beautiful white foliage. And the best thing about the White Princess Philodendron is that sometimes it can come in with some pink variegation. Look at that newest leaf. You can see the pink right there, and the stems are pink. And I just find that the variegation on this is quite stable. The more that mine has grown, the more variegated it has become. Some of the older leaves are just like this one here, so it's got a little bit of speckling to it, so nothing that fantastic. But this is absolutely amazing. And I actually think it's way better than the Philodendron Pink Princess because you can actually get some decent variegation on that, unlike the Pink Princess, which just looks like a poo princess. So if you are wanting to invest in a rare plant, I would definitely get this one. So I actually have 2 plants in the pot here. It is double planted. And the best thing is I found this at Bunnings. So yes, you can actually get these from your big box stores, but they're difficult to come by, and you gotta swipe, you gotta get those. You gotta get in there and you gotta get it. And I've special ordered these in, and it took 2 months, I would say, for it to come in. Definitely check out your big box stores, or definitely check out Facebook, because I see a lot of white princesses on there and they're not that expensive in comparison to some other rare plants. So this is the first beauty on my list. The second plant I'm going to chat about is definitely a plant that I think is very surprising, because when picking this up, I thought she was going to be a massive diva and I might kill her, but no, we haven't had any pest issues, we didn't have any acclimation issues, and she's just all round great. She puts out new growth so dang quickly. And this is the beautiful Alocasia Cuprea Red Secret. And need I say more about these leaves? It is just so striking. She's got some beautiful abs to her. Like, look at that. It's like a 20 pack or something. And look at that shiny foliage. The newer growth comes in like this blushy maroon color, and the backs of the leaves all have that to them. And this guy is just getting bigger and bigger. This is one of the newest leaves, and look how big it is. In comparison to my face, I can just completely block my face out. I absolutely love it. The leaves were about this size when I got it, and it has gotten so big so quickly. I am keeping this in my Mars Hydro grow tent just because I wanted to keep it in a really humid environment, because alocasias in general are a spider mite magnet. I always get spider mites. But surprisingly, this one hasn't gotten spider mites, and the other alocasias in the tent have. So I just think this is just a really good growing plant, and you can see the root growth is intense. Like, I repotted this into this pot when I got it, and it's already getting pretty root bound. Look at those sexy roots. So if you are worried about jumping into the world of rarer alocasia, I would say this is a great place to start, because in my personal experience, it has been so easy. The third plant that I'm going to chat to you about today is a plant that I did a big boo-boo on this morning, so don't judge me for it. But this is the beautiful Anthurium Crystallinum. And this plant is a plant that I wanted for so long. One of the first videos I did on my channel was a wish list video, and this was on there, and I was just so happy to finally get my hands on it. I got it from Foliage Freak a little while ago now. It is a seller that lives in Australia, and they have some really great collection of some rare plants at really great prices as well. So I would definitely check them out if you are in Australia and wanting to get your hands on some unique plants. But just look at this foliage. This is the newest leaf that we have. It has not since hardened off yet, so that's why it is a lighter green. But can we just see that beautiful veining to the leaves? This is also an Anthurium Crystallinum cross. I will say it is not a pure Anthurium Crystallinum, but I'm not sure what it was pollinated with or whatever, but it is predominantly an Anthurium Crystallinum. It has that beautiful, gorgeous, velvety leaves. And now I've got to show you what I did this morning. So the story was, I was vacuuming my house like I do every day, and there was a bunch of soil right in front of me where my shelf is, right in front of my window, and I thought, well, hey, it's going to be easier for me to just pop that head off the vacuum and suck up all that dirt. No, I sucked up the leaf. And there was an internal moment of panic where I was trying to force the leaf out without breaking it, but no, it was unfortunate. And this was an absolutely stunning leaf. It was the second newest leaf or the third newest leaf that it had, and it's so sad. But luckily I do have this gorgeous one, and yeah. So anyway, with this plant, I do find it super easy. It did not have any acclimation stress when I unboxed it. It started growing and putting out leaves straight away. I do not keep this one under any artificial lighting. I literally just keep it in my southeast facing bedroom window, so it doesn't get the brightest amount of light, but it is thriving, putting out growth. The only thing is it's getting held up by a chopstick, so I will have to figure out a more permanent solution for it, but oh, I absolutely love this plant, and you can probably see why. It's definitely one of my favorites. The next plant on my list is a plant that looks a little bit funny at the moment, but that is because I just repotted it and it hasn't had time to rearrange its leaves to look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, so do not judge it. So this is my absolutely gorgeous Philodendron Gigas, or Gigas, however you pronounce it. It is this stunning beauty here. It looks very similar to a Philodendron melanochrysum, which I think is like the overhyped version to this plant, and in my opinion, I personally like this one a lot more. I think the leaves become really cool and elongated a lot quicker, and for me personally, it grows a bit faster than my melanochrysum. So I will give you a nice close-up of what these leaves look like. They have a beautiful velvetyness to the leaves with that really nice like oval shape. So it's quite a unique, striking plant. You can see there is quite a big color difference between some of the leaves. That is because this propagation here was living in my Mars Hydro grow tent, so it has a lot of intense light, where these colored leaves here lived in my bedroom, and that is just a normal light scenario. So I have popped them together now, and I am going to let them grow out to be nice and bushy, and hopefully soon be able to pop them on a moss pole so they can climb up. But I personally have had no real issues with this plant. So it did have a case of spider mites, but I'm not going to blame this plant because I was just having a spider mite outbreak in my bedroom. It was awful. And unfortunately, this one did get stuck with some spider mites. That is why I did propagate it, just in case I did lose the plant. But it did bounce back really, really well. I treated them fine and I haven't seen them back since. So I am really happy about that. Other than that, it is always putting out new growth. It doesn't drop leaves randomly. I find it is just a very easy plant to take care of. It didn't have any acclimation issues when I did unbox it. And again, I got this one from Foliage Freak. So I would definitely recommend investing your money in this plant because I personally don't think it's going to freak out on you. And if it does, it was so easy to propagate. I popped it in a glass with some moist perlite in there and roots started popping out almost immediately. And within about 2 months, it was ready to pop into soil. So really easy to propagate, really easy to take care of, really beautiful. What more could you want? The next two plants I'm going to show you are definitely the biggest of the bunch. So I'm going to go grab the first one and try and fandangle it into frame. So I don't personally think this guy needs an introduction, but in case you don't know, this is a Monstera Thai constellation. And this is seriously, seriously in demand right now. We have the normal Monstera deliciosa leaves, except with this lovely creamy white variegation to it. And what makes this a little bit different from your typical Monstera Albo is that it is a tissue cultured version, and the variegation tends to look more like a constellation of stars. So it's a bit more mottled and splashy, but in my case, I do have some really cool sectoral variegation. And I would say this is another one that I have absolutely had no trouble with it growing. It is so easy to take care of. It is, I would say, a slower grower than some of my other plants on this list, and definitely a slower grower than the normal Monstera deliciosa. But when it puts out a new leaf, it is absolutely worth the wait. We have some secondary fenestrations, which are these little holes starting in my big plant. And you know, I am wondering if I should chop and prop this soon because we have some serious aerial roots. Like they're wanting to grow places. And I will show you, these are the first leaves that I got the plant with. I think it was these 4. And I purchased this a year and a half ago, I want to say. I'm not too sure. I would say about a year and a half. And it has grown to be quite a large plant. I'm so sorry, it's like hitting me in the face. I will say the only downside to this plant is the sectoral areas of variegation, for me personally, get brown and crispy. And I really don't know how to stop that because I only water it when it's pretty much completely dry. I shake off the leaves if it has a lot of water on them. I don't keep it in way too much humidity or way too low humidity. I really don't know what the problem is. I do know just sometimes white areas of variegation can just go brown and die. So I'm thinking that's the case. But apart from that, it is a beautiful, easy plant. And I personally don't think that you're going to kill this really that easily. Honestly, no problems. But definitely let me know if you think I should chop and prop. Obviously, when it gets a little bit warmer. It's just that the internodal spaces, which are, you know, between each node, is so tight. Like I would have to cut really close to the nodes, which is what makes me so nervous because you can see there. But you know, that might be a project for the summertime in a few months. but I just wanted to give some love to this plant because it is definitely one of my favorites and it has a special place in my heart. And the last plant on my easy rare houseplant list is this insanely huge, my Syngonium Fantasy, or the Syngonium Albo. So I haven't re-trellised it in a while. We have these crazy vines going everywhere, so I think I might do that after this video. I will pop in some footage of what it looks like all up because there is no way I could get this whole thing into shot, but I think this plant is unstoppable. It grows like a weed. Sometimes I get overwhelmed because it grows too much and it's dangling all over the floor. But you know, that's a good problem to have. It has some awesome variegation to it. We have some really nice half moon leaves, we have some more mottled leaves, and we have just some plain green ones here and there, which I actually really like amongst the variegated foliage. I think it makes it pop that much more. We do have some all white leaves that are going to go brown and just fall off soon, but I'm okay with that. I've got so much plant to deal with, and believe it or not, but I started this as a 2-leafed plant. Yes. Again, about 2-3 years ago, I cannot remember when I got it, but I paid like $50 or something for a 2-leaf plant, and here we are now. This one, I will say, is so easy to propagate. I have propagated this numerous times and popped it back into the pot. You can see the bottom of the pot is just full of different vines. That is how I got it to be so bushy. But it just takes to water propagation like that, and I've never ever had one fail on me. I've sold off and given away so many of these plants. So if you do want something that you can sell again and make your money back from what you paid from a cutting, it is a really great choice. This is a plant that I've also not had any pest issues with. It is just a dream come true when it comes to houseplant care. I do keep it in like moderate to high light. It has a grow light beside it, not hitting it, and it is quite far back from the window, so I would say like moderate to bright light, and it grows so quickly. A great thing about this plant is that at the moment it is starting to hit Bunnings, so I haven't personally seen it in store yet, but I have seen on Facebook so many people picking them up for like $40 at their local big box stores. So that is such great news for you guys that don't have it yet and that can just easily pick it up soon. So I would definitely keep checking Bunnings and all those to see if you can get your hands on this one. Alright guys, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, then hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Alright, bye!